Well, good evening. Brief update to our strategic action plan for the Communications Committee. On behalf of the Communications Committee, Ms. Grafton, my co-chair, we'd like to thank you for this opportunity to speak about what we have been doing over this now second half of the school year. Our goal is once again to update and also streamline the communication methods within our district and also at the school level. Based upon the initial survey results, and at this point, really a lot of feedback that we are receiving from multiple stakeholders. We're going to integrate a proactive media communications program, and we were very fortunate to share that with you 2 updates ago, especially noting the number of Facebook hits that we've been receiving. And I'm very happy to say that we continue to still receive a very large number of Facebook hits and also hits off of our other social media that we put out to whenever we do a post here within our district's website. So something different for this opportunity. We have been extensively utilizing Class Dojo within all 3 of our schools. That initially was one of the action steps that was identified from the initial survey based upon the very successful use of Class Dojo at the Janvier School. So enhancing our applications here with the use of Class Dojo, there's a separate portion of Class Dojo where students have a portfolio, as they're called, but really it's a messaging board where the students have an opportunity to share information. Could be pictures, could be video, could be written dialogue with their parents. Before it's shared, it does have to be approved by the teacher, so making sure that everything's appropriate in nature. But I do have a video here that I'm about to show you explaining how the Class Dojo portfolio application has initially been used both in 1st grade and also quite extensively in 6th grade this year. And this is with sharing academic success with parents. And then lastly, we do have a little plug about our video warning announcements at Ritter School. These are just 3 examples of what we are doing in order to enhance really what we had on the action steps. And I'm sure that you will very much enjoy what our students and teachers have been doing the second half of the year.
In the district, something that I like to do in my classroom is to use Dojo portfolios. Dojo portfolios is a really powerful way for students to take ownership of their own reading fluency progress or any progress that they're making in the classroom, but I specifically use it for to demonstrate their reading fluency progress. By recording and uploading their reading samples, students can actively reflect on their growth over time from the beginning of the school year through it all, and then once it's uploaded and shared out to parents, parents can then take participation in that that growth as well and see it in real time. They can hear their students grow as they're progressing through their fluency, and they can have that conversation with their child at home to demonstrate. It helps to create a stronger homeschool connection using visuals and voice recordings all in one place, and Class Dojo is a really great tool that allows us to just bring the home connection into the classroom more.
Hi, I'm Brielle Keevitt. I'm the 6th grade ELA teacher at Ritter School, and I started implementing Class Dojo into our daily routine as a means of communication between school and home. Early on in my career, I always placed an emphasis on that home communication, but it primarily came from me, and I recently discovered the value in having that communication coming from the student. I think it really bridges the gap between the two a lot more effectively. So some examples of how it's used in our classroom: we do a bi-weekly newsletter where students are sharing some of the activities or assignments that they worked on in class. They're able to reflect on how they did with these assignments. Did they do well? Did they struggle? What are those areas of growth? They share the best part of their week, so they're able to share those wins. And they also have to identify a goal for the following week based on all of that information. So if there was an area that they struggled in, that's where they're going to stop and say, well, here's how I'm going to improve. And it really allows them to reflect and take that accountability for their learning. The best part about it, in my opinion, is the fact that it encourages parents to actually communicate back. So it opens up that dialogue. We all know that students go home and they're asked what they did at school that day, and they say, oh, nothing. So this opens up that conversation. They're able to actually, the parents can see what they did. They're able to talk with them about their goals and the growth that they want to make and the reflections that they shared. In a digital world, with so much of their work being digital, Dojo has allowed them to upload files, upload links, upload PDFs of things that they're doing in the classroom that they're proud of and able to share, so things like posters or flyers that they make. Another way that we use it is to reinforce work habit accountability. So if a child is missing an assignment, they weren't prepared for class that day, rather than the communication coming from me, they take that ownership. They share not only, for example, I wasn't prepared for my literature circles today. Here's how I'm going to make sure, and the steps that I'm going to follow to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So I think them taking the ownership and accountability for it not only helps them, but it really helps the parents support them in the best way possible. And I think just bridges together the teacher, the child, and the family. So overall, it's been really beneficial, and I think that the parents and the students see the value in it as well. So I definitely plan to continue to have it as part of our classroom.
Today is Monday, April 28th, 2025.
Announcements. Project grade color is blue.
Today's birthday is Gianna Delvito. Happy birthday.
Our character trait of the month is perseverance.
The character quote of the day is, if the plan doesn't work, change the plan, but never the goal.
This day in history, in 1989, one of the worst oil spills in history happened. On the super tanker. Exactly. There are more bacteria in your mouth than there are people in the world. Oh, that's gross.
Today's joke of the day. Knock knock. Who's there?
Mikey.
Mikey who?
Mikey won't fit in the lock.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic.
So what you saw right there at the end, that was actually us compiling several of our daily messages out to the students for our announcements into one snapshot for you, so we can include as many students as possible. But these are really just a few examples of how we were trying to enhance our communications, both with what is being sent to the homes as far as student academic progress, what the students are learning within their classes. You saw examples from the first grade all the way through sixth grade. Our committee now is focusing on working with the administration in order to figure out what's age appropriate between those two ages and how can we roll this out with further professional learning for next year in order to enhance these best practices that are out there. The YouTube channel, just once again another opportunity where we're leveraging social media, the feedback that we receive as far as what people like to go on. Once again, going back to that mobile device, we're now on TV, watching some more announcements. The parents we're hoping are feeling more connected. The students I know really enjoy seeing themselves on the screen in the morning or going home at night and watching themselves again as a family, especially those that are actually doing the broadcast. So a lot of positive results, a lot of positive feedback with implementing these new strategies. And ultimately, we're going to continue to monitor our communication practices, and we realize that there is always a method for continuous improvement, and that's ultimately what we're seeking. So, thank you very much for the opportunity for the communications update.
Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome. There's a joke every day, there's a fun fact. They try to include some other